episode 12. I'm your host, Sean Siff. We've got a huge episode for you, so we're going to get right into it. First, we covered development news with Greg Hill. Then we talked to Ray Alfalla, our NASCAR iRacing Series World Champion. And finally, we wrap things up with Yangu, the winner of the iRacing IZOD IndyCar Premier Series. We've got a lot more to cover as well. We hope you'll stay with us and check it out.
Hey, I'm Ray Alfalla, your 2011 NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Champion, and you're watching iRacingTV.
Hey, this is Greg Hill from iRacing, and I just wanted to take you guys through a few of the things we're working on, both on the content side of things, that being tracks and cars, and also a little bit later, some of the cool web projects we have in development right now. So first up is New Smyrna Speedway. It's our newest track. It is a 0.48 mile short oval, and it's in Florida near Daytona, and it's actually a big part of the Speed Weeks around that time of the year. So let's jump on the track here. We tried to create this track as authentically as possible. So you can see the kind of unique yellow inside walls, the angular yellow inside walls, those are there. And there's a double catch fence along the corners, the outside of the turns. One thing that is new with this track is the sky. We're trying kind of a late afternoon lighting scenario. We've really only done midday in the past or night, but here it's late afternoon when you're loading it under day lighting, and it's also available as a night track, and we'll load that up in just a moment so you guys can see that. Alright, so here we are back at New Smyrna, now with night lighting. So let's jump back out there again. This is a really cool little track. For a short oval, it has a good deal of banking. It's fast, it's wide. I think the racing here will be a lot of fun. Alright, and now let's go take a look at the race cars we're working on. We have a couple of really exciting cars in development that we can't wait to share with you. And now our latest car to enter development, the Lotus 49. This is a car that's going to bring us all a bit back to our roots and what we were working on 13 years ago. It's hard to believe. Grand Prix legends. This car is one which was made famous by Jim Clark and Graham Hill, and it's a really exciting car. It doesn't have a wing, so it doesn't have all that downforce, and it should make for some really exciting racing. So let me load up the laser scan, which is the form we have it in now. And here you can see it in an overhead view. Very highly detailed scan. I'll just go in here. You can see all the detail in the engine, which was picked up by the scan, the suspension. We're really excited to work on this car. It has so much great history, and it's just such an interesting looking vehicle. Very unlike what we usually work on day in and day out with modern cars, and the artists can't wait to get their hands on it. And from the eyes of the driver in a laser scan, there we go. Alright, so on to another project we are working on right now. This is the Cadillac CTS-V, or as it's known in its racing version, the CTS-VR. We recently collected the data for this car, and we already have an early version in our 3D development tools, and that's what you see here. We're really excited to work on this car. Fast sports car, very exciting, and we have a great relationship and partnership with Cadillac that we're excited to unveil for the 2012 year. Alright, so on to the web projects. I'm going to give you guys a quick look at some of the near-term and more far-term projects we're working on. To start with, and probably the nearest term project to be released will be the addition of a spotter functionality. So essentially what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to join a session as the spotter for one of your friends or another iRacing member, be on the same voice channel as them, and replace the built-in sim spotter if you so choose. The mechanism to accomplish that is going to be very easy to use, and I'll show you guys how it works. So to start with, the kind of hub for this activity will be the My Racers page and the My Racers pop-up. This is an opt-in feature, so if you want people to be able to spot for you, you actually need to turn the feature on. and you can actually set kind of permission settings or controls on the feature. You can allow anybody to be your spotter. You can allow only your friends to be your spotter, or you can allow anybody but they need to have a certain password, or only friends but they need to have a certain password. So you can really set it up exactly how you want it with the level of control you want. If you just want a few trusted people to be able to get into these sessions with you, you can do that. If you want anybody or a wider group of people to be able to get in a session and act as your spotter, you can do that as well. And we're hopeful that this will open up a new type of activity in iRacing, and we'll expand on it from there. So let me show you how it works. I have my friends and studied list, or if I had done a driver search, I would have a list of names up on the top of this page area. And I see that my friend David is in a race. So here are our usual kind of contextual action buttons for joining sessions. So I mouse over this and you can see I have an option now. My option is not just to race now. I can race or spot for David because he has chosen me as one of his designated spotters. Alternately, so that I don't have to go to this page and I can access it from anywhere on the website, at least when it comes to my friends, I can use my Racers pop-up. I see David is online. He's racing, as you can tell by this icon, and I've been flagged as one of his available spotters, so I can jump in nice and easy, just one click really, and I'd be off to the races. Alright, so we just went over spotters, and that's one way to kind of collaborate with other members and work towards a common goal. Now we're taking that one step further with the addition of teams. Now this is a bigger project, but it's a project that is going on in parallel with the spotter feature, so we're working on it now. And you might have actually seen this in a recent rollout where we accidentally included a bare bones version of it. While that was accidental, people seemed really excited about it, and that was good to see. So what you see here is a mock-up of the general direction where we're going with this feature. We're going to have a new section of our website titled Team. And what you'll do is you'll go into the section and you'll be able to create a team. You can see here you'll have a button, Create Team. And that'll bring up this dialog where you can enter a team name and a team description. So you might wonder, why would I want to create a team? Well, what you'll be able to do with teams is actually really cool. You'll be able to create a custom group of friends, members who will join this team with you on an opt-in basis, and you'll be able to participate together in endurance racing, driver change series or events. So you'll be able to all go to the same race in the same car essentially, and you'll take turns driving. So theoretically you could do 24 hours of Daytona and take 4-hour shifts. However you want to do it, you can make it happen with this feature. Alright, so let's go back to this page we were on before. This is a listing of my teams. So theoretically I've created this team iRacing Artists using the interface pop-up, and here you see we get to upload our own custom logo, insert our own website description. You can see how many members we have, 143 members. There are varying levels of control. You can see I'm the owner, so I have permission to grant adminship to other members of the team, and I can grant ownership of the team for whatever reason to other members of the team. It's really easy to add people. As an owner or an admin, I just click the Add Member button, and you get that nice handy driver search pop-up where I can quickly search for a driver, and with the click of one button, add him to my team. Although it's not an instant add, it will send an invite to that person, and they'll need to agree to the invite to actually become a full-fledged member of my team. You can see over on the right side here just a glimpse at the recent activity that we've participated in with this team, iRacing Artists. There's some other nifty things you can do, like since you're all going to be in the same car, it's all about driver changes. You can design, save a customized helmet, car, suit. You can uniquely paint every car that your team will use, so when you all jump into the session, the car will look appropriate to your team. So this here is a page listing my teams. So you can see I'm an owner, there's another team I'm an admin of. If I were to continue scrolling down, there might be some teams that I'm just a regular user of. Now there will be another tab where we're going to display a listing of every team on iRacing. So what you could do is you could really browse or shop for what interests you when it comes to team racing. Maybe there's a team that is recruiting new members, and they might say in their description, ask for an invite. We're interested in growing, and you could send that person a private message. They'll send you an invite and you can become a member of that team. Or you could just see what some of the top teams are up to, see their most recent events. So we think this is a new activity that should be a lot of fun, and there's been requests for this type of activity or feature really for a long time. So we're excited to work on it. We think we're going to do it really well, better than has ever been done. All right, so another area of the Teams interface, active sessions. So this is a work in progress, but you can see, let's say I'm a member of several teams, and I'm not sure what all is going on with my teammates. That maybe they're in an event, and maybe they'd like a driver to sub in. So I can go look at the active sessions, and I can see, oh, a few of my teams are in events, and it looks like I can jump into them. So it's just a way of parsing down all the different sessions on the service to exactly what you're looking for, and allowing you to jump in that session very easily. Now, we've long wanted to add kind of more full-fledged league support to iRacing. You can already accomplish a lot with hosted sessions, but we wanted something more integrated, and we really feel like what we're doing here with teams and building this kind of team builder would share a lot of functionality with what we want to accomplish with leagues. So that's the next logical step. With leagues, we'll want to do something where you can build a custom schedule, post news, maybe even have custom scoring, or have that schedule essentially be your own league series. That's our goal. That's what we want to work towards. It's a bit further down the road when it comes to implementation, but it is the general direction we're heading in. We can't wait to get started on that. All right, so this is our general vision for what we want to do with leagues. Obviously, there's a lot of work to be done. We're already kind of started in that direction, as I've showed you with this interface that we feel lends itself towards some aspects of leagues. Now, this may evolve over time. What we end up ultimately delivering might be slightly different, but it's our general sense now, and we just wanted to share it with you guys.
The iRacing Pro Race of Champions took place early December. It was an event that we had the idea for quite a long time ago. It took a while to put it together, though. It's the first time we've ever had a focused race with just real-world racers in it, and we think it turned out pretty well. The hardest part about putting this together actually was picking the date. Believe it or not, we had to move the date twice because events kept getting scheduled on top of ours. All the real-world racers obviously race full-time, and that career comes first before iRacing, unfortunately. We settled on December because for most of the guys we invited, this is their off-season. There were a couple of guys racing from other parts of the world that were able to accommodate us, so that was pretty cool. We thought that the event would be pretty popular with our members, and it turned out it was. We had thousands and thousands of people log in to watch the broadcast on iRacing.com. Thanks to PSR TV for hosting and putting on a good show for us.
Hey everyone, we're about to do the iRacing Pro Race of Champions here. We're over here at my house. Coleman Presley over here, he's going to try to get his computer working. It doesn't look too pretty right now, he's struggling. But it's about to start here in a second. And we got 20 minutes of practice and qualifying race, so it's going to happen pretty quick. We got the truck race at Charlotte first, so wish me luck. This could be ugly.
Brandon Davis And Scott Speed gonna lead us to green. 25 laps at Charlotte and we are underway. Oh, 59 and 18 make a little bit of contact. Coleman Presley to the inside. Landon Castle to the outside. Timmy Hill looking on.
Let's just
from
drive. I'll
position
stay behind
number
you,
5. Timmy Hill has moved to position number 3. Big move for the youngster. He's past Cale Gale and Landon Castle.
He looks like car 20, Joey Logano's got around.
Chad McCumbee and Coleman Presley side by side. Just behind them you have Josh Wise. Shane's looking to the inside of Josh Wise right now. Oh, he turns him going into corner number 3. Wise up to the wall and he's going to collect a couple of trucks. Watch Frank Kimmel the second looking at Plowman for position number 6. Great run for the 23 thus far. We're going to come to the checkered flag this time by Speed and Davis, your top 2. And looks like it's all number 41. Working up at a corner number 4, the oval portion of the iRacing Pro Racing Champions goes to Scott Speed.
Don't give me a stop and go. I just didn't know what I was doing. I just lurched before the green.
It looks like everybody's got away clean from the starting line here, and it's just a matter of they can get through turn number 1 clean.
Looks like
and that's Scott Speed around.
Scott Speed out. Plum will have none of it though, trying to pass him back on the outside.
They are going for every single position. Are we going to see 3 wide here?
I think we might. They are going for it into turn 1.
Here, guys, Josh Wise gets involved. On the road course, Joey Logano showing his road course skills right now up in the top 5. Sherman here, he comes to the inside.
Let's see if he can make it stick. Van Gisberg is not going to let up. Shane Van Gisberg takes the win. Watkins Glen.
Good win.
Battle for third coming up off the final couple of corners, side by side in Chad.
Big congratulations goes out to the top 3 overall finishers. Grand Am driver Matt Plum finished 3rd. IndyCar driver Martin Plowman was 2nd. And NASCAR Late Model Series champion Brandon Davis took home the crown. Also want to thank everybody that participated. Really was a great turnout. And just so you guys know, we've already started planning next year's event.
I'm 22 years old, living in Cape Coral, Florida. I'm going to school at Florida Gulf Coast University, majoring in forensics, should graduate in a little over a year. I was originally born in Cuba, moved to the States when I was around 6. Immediately fell in love with racing, mostly NASCAR, even though I watch all types of series. Just, played a lot of racing video games since I grew up, you know, all different titles on the consoles and on the computer. I've been sim racing online basically since 2003, so 8 years. That's pretty much when I got my first wheel and pedal set. And you know, it takes a lot of practice as far as, I wouldn't say a lot of practice, but it definitely takes some effort. You know, for the World Championship Series, we have a couple weeks to prepare for each race. So maybe half an hour or an hour every day, which would be maybe a fuel run. As far as teams go, I wasn't in any official team this year. I had a lot of help from Jason Loafing. He made a lot of setups that I used and tweaked on. I tested a lot with Brian Blackford and Brian Schoenberg also. So you know, no official team, but it was still very successful because I had a lot of help from different people. My parents are my biggest fans. You know, during the race they'll take the laptop around the house, you know, just to not miss a lap. You know, at Phoenix this year, the race before the last race at Homestead, I was in position to clinch if I finished 17th or better. And unfortunately, I was involved in a crash at the end, and I crashed out of the race. But second and third place in points also were involved. But you know, they didn't know that. So after the race, my dad came over and said he was so sorry, I couldn't clinch or whatever. But apparently, after doing all the math, I had clinched the championship, and they were so relieved because they get way more stressed out than I do, and I'm the one that's racing, So my parents are definitely my biggest fans. As far as the prize money, I haven't put much thought into it, except for maybe obviously going into school. Maybe some eye surgery. I've been wearing glasses and contacts for a long time now, so I'd like to fix that. And the rest, just keep it in the bank and not spend it all in one place. I couldn't have asked for a better experience, and I want to thank iRacing and NASCAR for putting it together. If I would give anybody advice starting off in sim racing and especially iRacing, is to not dive into the high level stuff immediately. You should start out in the lower levels and get used to the legends and the late models, because they will get progressively harder to drive and harder to set up. So you should learn, you should take it one step at a time and not try to take too much all at once. And I think that's probably the best path. I plan on defending my championship maybe 5 or 6 times in a row. That'd be really cool. One of the best things about being the championship, to be honest, is that not everybody's got to kiss the ring.
As the 2011 NASCAR iRacing Series champion is Alfalla from Cape Coral, Florida. Presenting the 2011 NASCAR iRacing World Series Championship ring, trophy, and check for $10,500 is iRacing Executive Vice President Steve Myers and NASCAR's Vice President of Licensed Products, Blake Davidson. Congratulations, Ray, on your big win.
Okay, as I mentioned, we've got a special recognition of this year's champion of the 2011 NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship. Go out to Ray Alfalla of Cape Coral, Florida. He's joined on stage, of course, by Dale Earnhardt Jr., Blake Davidson, who's Vice President of Licensed Products with NASCAR, and Steve Myers, who is the iRacing.com Executive Vice President. Ray, you've been racing online for some time, I'm told. You've captured this championship. This is the second year we've had this competition. You got 3 wins, 8 top 5 finishes, and 18 races. I believe you've been a contender in the chase. Tell us what your reaction is to winning the title and what it means to all online racers worldwide to have this world championship.
So it means a lot, and also just the sim racers all over the world. To be able to compete in a series that's highlighted by NASCAR, it just legitimizes. Just really happy overall.
Dale, I know you're a big fan of iRacing. You participated in it a lot, and like Steve alluded to, you have a roster of drivers. What's it like for you to be able to do iRacing competitively and race against drivers like Ray?
Well, it makes me feel good that I can do it somewhat competitively, because these Ray and the guys that he races against are very, very good at it, and it's a real challenge to be able to run at speed with them. I want to congratulate Ray on his championship. I've known him for a long time, and I watched the series closely. I know what the kind of commitment it takes, the hours of practice and study and working with setups that it takes that you have to put in to be competitive. And Ray, I watched Ray every race, and he ran a smart season and stayed out of trouble and capitalized on his opportunities. And like these guys said, it's another year, another champion, another great season, another step toward legitimizing the series as well as the software, and it's becoming more and more popular every week. We have more and more real-world drivers speaking highly about iRacing as a tool, as a viable tool to help them accelerate their learning curve on new racetracks or new vehicles. And it's been fun to be a part of it, and that's why I'm here today.
We're always trying to collect more data from the real world. Dale, his team, Junior Motorsports, has been really instrumental in helping us understand how the cars work when a new change comes through. NASCAR will give us the CAD data and whatever new rules that come through, and we're trying to always continuously move the software forward because we want to make it as authentic as possible so guys like Dale that, you know, can drive it and actually become something useful to them.
Everything else is right there. I mean, it's like, you know, deja vu every time you go out on a racetrack. When I, you know, before I come to Homestead this weekend, you get on the racetrack in the sim, and it's like the real thing, you know. So when you get out to practice, you're ready to go. You know, you're mentally, you know, you're mentally up to speed on what's going to happen to you.
I imagine you have to commit a ton of time to this. So what's the gain? What's the motive? Is there a financial benefit to winning a national championship? Is there, I mean, you get a pat on the butt, an opportunity to sit beside Junior? Like champagne and chicks? What's the deal? It seems like it would be a lot of time.
Well, I mean, it's...
Do you want any money?
Yeah, there's 10 grand on the line.
Okay, well there you go. I'll give you that then. That's worth the money. That's worth the time.
But even if there wasn't money, I think you know, we all love to sim race, and we're all racing fans in the first place. So even if you have to put, you know, 2 hours of time in a race just to prepare for a race, I think you can still do it. I mean, you know, iRacing NASCAR organized the series to basically, you know, you start out from iRacing and then you progress through the ranks. Basically, the top 50 are fighting for 40 spots every couple weeks because, you know, nobody's locked in, so you have to qualify on time. And, you know, the actual races, you know, there's a lot of drama. There's, you know, just everything you find in the real world is people screaming at each other after every race. And, you know, it gets it's pretty hairy at times, but you know, everybody's just a big racing fan, and I think, you know, money is nice, obviously, but you know, we do it even if it was just for a time back.
Anybody ever get caught?
Yeah.
Wow.
Crashing people intentionally and pulling a Kyle Busch, you know.
Well, let's see, congrats. Kyle's his favorite driver, though. Yeah. Is that right? Just being honest.
Kind of crazy story. Basically met with LW a couple weeks ago after talking to Dale Jr. and kind of working out a deal with iRacing to do a couple races. Thanks to my parents, iRacing, everybody at Junior Motorsports for making this possible. I started racing about 10 years ago. I started out with go-karts, moved on to legend karts after that. Had a lot of success in both. Then we moved on to street stocks, ran those part-time, and ever since then, that was about 1.5 years ago, all I've been doing is running iRacing.
He told me straight up, he said, I don't have a lot of experience in a car like this, but, you know, I said, well, I mean, you never know who can drive a race car and who can't. Some people have a natural talent to just do it, and some people try their whole life and still can't do it.
I'm a huge advocate of iRacing, and yesterday we done a test that went really, really good. And I attributed it all to iRacing. You know, it's been about 1.5 years since I'd been in a race car. You know, so for me to be able to come out, and I thought we'd run some pretty competitive laps, and LW seemed happy. So I think that all goes, you know, I think that speaks volumes for what iRacing does.
Draw for qualifying positions in between the first and second practice. Okay. Practice sessions are normally 8 to 10 minutes. The third practice will be all cars at one time for a scuff if you want to participate in that scuff session.
I mean, what if we qualify 12th or 14th or something like that and we end up back there with a bunch of idiots?
I mean, yeah, that sucks. I mean, I'd rather have you qualify good, but it's just so tight that it's real easy to be 12th and still be good.
Right.
And then with what you ran yesterday, you'll be 12th to 14th.
doesn't look like we'll be able to get it in today. Just at the driver's meeting, they officially called it. So looks like my first race will be Twin 100s. That'll be coming up next week on the 20th. No test day before that, just 3 short practice sessions. So I have to try and get back in the groove of everything pretty quick. But these guys helping me, these guys, LW, Seth, all these guys, I mean, we should be all right. We'll just try and make it work next week. I feel pretty good about it. My very first time ever in a late model stock car. The car was really good. All the credit goes to iRacing and all the JRM guys, the LW. I mean, the car was fantastic. All we did was dodge some wrecks, and the car was good enough to pass, a few cars. But the car was really good. It just kind of kept getting better as the run went on. So hopefully in the next 100 laps, I hate to set any kind of crazy goals, but I mean, the possibility for a top 10's there.
Jim did great. We came in here today, first time ever racing a late model stock car. A little bit of practice last week, and I knew he was going to do well. He's been smooth and consistent the whole time he's driven the car. Just about every time he goes out, he picks up a little bit more. And qualifying today, it wasn't a great lap. I mean, he ran a 16:40, which is, it's not a great lap by any means, but it's not a bad lap for somebody the first time here. It's the best lap he'd ran at that point, so we can't ask any more from there. He didn't slow down to qualify, and he picked it up, so that was good. We qualified 21st and finished 12th. I think he did real good. He did great. He drove hard all night long, got better, got himself in position, turned around by just an unfortunate racing accident, which cost him a bunch of track position, put his lap down. But, all in all, before that, everything was going well, and I'd say we were, in line for a 12th, 14th place finish.
My name is Yangu, and I'm invited by iRacing.com to come to Las Vegas to attend the IZOD IndyCar World Series final. I've won the iRacing.com Premier Series, and I'm very grateful that iRacing.com has given me this opportunity to be here. I've been sim racing since the 08 Indy 500. I jumped onto a server, and we had a lot of photo finishes, which got me hooked instantly. And then I found out about iRacing, and their physics are fantastic, and I really enjoyed from the first moment I tried it. So that's when I switched to iRacing. Never looked back. And in China, there's not a lot of opportunities to race in real life, so it's great to have simulators out there for people like me to be able to do what they love to do, which is racing, whether it's virtual or in real life. So it's great for everybody who loves racing. I've always wanted to sim race and get some kind of reward, and iRacing has done a really good job organizing official races together and putting the best drivers together to compete for a prize. and it's a great opportunity for drivers to show their speed and to drive against the best sim racers in the world. So that's what this championship meant to me, and it is definitely very satisfying to win it. Yes, I have raced against Will Power, Thomas Scheckter, and Dallara Jr. in IndyCar, by the way. And those guys are phenomenal. You can learn a lot from the way they drive. And I have certainly studied in my race with Dallara Jr. how he avoids wrecks and just using the whole track to get the most of the track and the car. And I'm very good at learning from people, so I think that's one advantage you can have by racing with professional drivers. Having a teammate is incredibly important. I used to make setups myself without any other input, and it was fast, but it was not very quick. But when I got Tim Doyle on board with me for the Indy 500, we came from decent to dominant, and that's one very big benefit for me to have a teammate. And we continue to dominate the rest of the season in IZOD IndyCar series. And besides that, I use all of my time available for testing on iRacing to drive the Dallara instead of focusing on different cars, which meant that I put 100% of my effort on iRacing into the Premier Series, and as it turned out, it was very rewarding for me to finally be able to win the series title.
The gearbox, he's at the rear wing. White flag here, one more lap to go, and it's about a car length between your top two drivers. Look at the run that Yangu gets. Tim Doyle leaves the door open in corner number one. They'll go into corner number two. Yangu continues to close. He's there, Daryl. What does he have? Can he win this 500?
Welcome, I'm Andrea Toso. I'm in charge of the Dallara IndyCar program. Let's talk about the connection between Dallara and iRacing. First of all, iRacing is going to be the virtual Dallara 2012 car. I think it will be available in a few months. We have provided iRacing with real data, so the real geometry and suspension, aero figures. So what you get to race virtually is exactly the package that the drivers and engineers use on race weekend. That's you can rely on that. We have a good relationship with iRacing. We've been working with them for quite a few years so far. There is an exchange of knowledge between them and us. We learn from them how to use the circuits, because they scan the real circuits and you race virtually on them. So we get from them some information about those circuits, and we give them the real data on the car. So it's a perfect match, and I think you get the same quality as the real race team. So you might appreciate that. I would like to use iRacing. I've tried a couple of times, but I'm a bad racer. I'm not a good driver. I know that my engineers, vehicle dynamics engineers, they race on iRacing. They have a lot of fun, and so when they come back to work on Monday, they talk a lot about this kind of racing. I'm not a good driver, so sorry for that. un particolare in bocca al lupo per tutti i piloti virtuali iRacing che si trovano in Italia, e vi invito anche quelli di iRacing a visitarci in Dallara. So special good luck to all the Italian-based virtual racers in Italy, and I would welcome iRacing people and the Italian racers, virtual racers, to Dallara if they want.
Hi, this is Tony Godner, President of iRacing. I just want to thank all of our members for another great year and wish everyone a happy and safe holiday.